Hello my friends, and welcome back to Keith's Kitchen. This week, we had a 70-degree day. And so naturally, the first thing that I thought was, I gotta make potato salad. I mean, what else do you do on a 70-degree day? So that's what we're making this week. We're making potato salad. Now this is a recipe that I've had my eye on, and I've never made it before. So, you know, spirit of full disclosure, there it is. It comes highly recommended by lots of people on the internet, and you can always believe everything you see on the internet, so I know it's gonna be good. Yeah, it's made with red potatoes, bacon, green onions, celery, mayo, hard-boiled eggs, love. Let's make this potato salad.
All right, to start our potato salad, of course you're gonna need potatoes. All right, I used red potatoes, and I used about 3.5 pounds. Or 15 red potatoes that I cut up into 1 inch, or about a ½ inch actually, chunks, put them in a pot, and covered them with enough water, I guess, to cover. Turn the heat on to high, and we're going to start our bacon. Now, the easiest way that I've found to cook bacon is in the oven, preheated to 400 degrees, on a baking sheet lined with tin foil. And I like to make like a little wall of tin foil up the sides, so that you can keep all the bacon grease contained, because, I don't know, last I checked, bacon's pretty greasy. Okay, so here's some bacon. I ended up fitting about 11 slices on here. I don't have a particular amount that you need. It's up to you, right? If you want more or less, whatever, you do you. I popped that in there for about 15 minutes. We're going to add a little white vinegar to our potatoes. Now, what this does is it helps keep the potatoes from getting too soft as they cook, which is nice, especially since we're going to be stirring the potatoes quite a bit, a little bit further down the line when we mix everything. Now it's time to boil some eggs. Yeah, this recipe has hard-boiled eggs in it. Okay, 5 of them, to be exact. So we're going to put 5 eggs in a pot, cover those with water, and put the heat on high. And we're going to boil those for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now our potatoes have started to boil, finally, so we're going to cover them with a lid and reduce the temperature to about medium-low, and let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. And by the time that is nearly done, our eggs should be done. All right, so pour off the hot water, fill it up with cold water, and let it sit while we get everything else prepared. Now the potatoes, the best way to test to see if they're ready is put them on a spoon and poke them with a fork. All right, if you can poke in nice and easily without having to apply too much pressure, those are probably good. And keep in mind, they are going to stay hot after you pour them out, which is what we're going to do now. So they're going to continue to soften as time goes on. So drain those potatoes, and we need them to reach room temperature before we do anything. All right, here's our bacon. I ended up pulling it out about 15-20 minutes after I started that timer. And you'll notice it's nice and crispy, and it's kind of covered in grease. So we're going to get that off that baking sheet and onto a plate with some paper towels on it to dry. And now, here are the peeled boiled eggs. I peeled them off camera. Okay, sorry about that. And we're going to separate the yolk and the white. So just cut them in half, and then pop the yolks out into a separate bowl, and put the white on a separate plate. And we're going to use both of these in different parts of the recipe. So the egg whites are going to be put directly in, and the egg yolks are going to be used to make a sauce, as you can see here. So we're going to mash up the egg yolks using our fork right there in the bowl, and then we're going to add in some mayonnaise and some sour cream and some other stuff. So here is 3/4 cup of sour cream, and add that right on top. And then we're going to add 2/3 cup of mayonnaise. Okay, you can use whatever kind you want. You can use Miracle Whip even if you want it. Now here's some salt. This is 1/2 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Add that in. And now we're going to add some regular old yellow mustard. I had barely 1 tablespoon in this container. Lucky me. That's how much I needed. Stir everything up, mix it well, and hey, that's your mustard and mayonnaise sauce. Now our potatoes have finally cooled. It's been forever. We're going to transfer them to a slightly larger bowl, because now we need to add in everything else for the potato salad. So first we're going to add in, this is a 1/4 cup of Italian dressing. Italian dressing, okay? Now we're going to add in those 5 chopped up egg whites that I set to the side before. This is the bacon, nice and crumbled. We're going to add that right in. And now for the green part. This is a 1/2 cup of chopped celery and a 1/4 cup of chopped green onion. That'll add a lot of flavor and some crunch. And the color green, which is also needed. Then we're going to stir this all together to get everything nice and coated. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I added a little bit more Italian dressing because I felt like it probably needed it. So I did maybe another 1/8 cup. And here is our spice and mustard and mayo and egg white mixture. We're going to add that right on top. Fold it through. And yeah, now it looks kind of like a regular old potato salad. You know? But it's not done yet. You could eat it now if you wanted. But I'm going to put a lid on it. Pop it in the fridge overnight, and taste it in the morning. So let's see how morning me is doing.
All right, friends. It is, as you can tell, by the light filtering in and hitting the broad side of my face, and also the fact that I'm in completely different clothes, it's the next day. And our potato salad has had a chance to get friendly with all the other ingredients in it. And here it is. I'm hide behind it. Now, it looks pretty nondescript. You know, it looks like a regular potato salad, but we all know, hiding underneath this delicious looking exterior is a heart filled with love. So let's give this, that sounds a little weird. Let's give this a taste. All right, so I'm gonna try to get some of everything in this. This looks, yeah, there you go. All right, here we go. Potato salad, down the hatch. I think I need a second bite. I need just a potato. We're gonna see how this tastes. I think this is fantastic, and I'll tell you why. A lot of times with potato salads, they go too far to either end of the spectrum. They go too far on the mayo end, and they end up tasting like just mayonnaise with some potatoes in it. Which, if that's your thing, whatever. I'm not judging Grandma's recipe. It's just not my thing, right? And sometimes they go the other end of a spectrum, and they go much more like mustardy, vinegary. And again, if that's your thing, if that's Grandma's recipe and you love it, and you'll defend it to the death, whatever. I'm not trying to fight you. Okay, it's fine. This is smack in the middle. It's got some vinegar flavor from the Italian dressing. It's got that mayo and that cream. But the thing is, we use sour cream, and that helped a lot, making it so that it's not as heavy with the mayonnaise. Bacon's awesome. Green onion cuts through with a little bit of acidity. Celery, fresh crunch. It maintains its crunch, which is important. I'll tell you, in potato salads, when you leave them in the fridge, everything gets a little soggy sometimes, because, you know, it's soaking in sour cream and mayonnaise and all that mixture. And the celery has retained its crunch, which is important. The flavor is good, and it's, I feel like, just salty enough. You could add salt to it if you wanted. You could add, you know, a little bit of Old Bay on top, if you're from Maryland. But I think it's great. In fact, I'm gonna have a third potato. Yeah. One final thing. If I made this again, which I will, I would probably double the amount of Italian dressing. And I would put it on the potatoes as they were cooling. So part of that is because the potatoes will absorb the flavor. And I think they need it. But the other part of it is I don't get quite enough of the French dressing in this for me. So I think I would add a little more. But hey, that's potato salad for breakfast. All right, this is a no judgment zone, so I expect no judgment from you guys for eating potato salad for breakfast, okay? I'm living the life. I just want you to know. And thanks for watching Keith's Kitchen. I appreciate it. I got a little frog in my throat because this potato salad's making me emotional. Yeah, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Keith's Kitchen. Bye. All right.
Italian.